Hi, what's up? I'm here to talk about the artist way. I go by Wifeny. This is my channel. I don't really do many talking videos. I mostly do music. So I'm really excited to talk to you about the artist way. I've been inspired by Doshi to start working on this book. It's basically a 12-week class that helps you to rediscover your creative self. So I wanted to go through and talk about what I've been doing for week 1. It has like quite a few things you're supposed to do every week, such as the morning pages and the artist date you're supposed to do weekly. So the morning pages are essentially just supposed to be 3 pages of just streaming consciousness on a page. Some of the things that I like to do is I have a pretty big notebook, so this is like a lot to write for me. So I usually do like 1 page completely of writing and then like 2 pages of like drawing or like an image that I see in my head because I really like to draw. So it's kind of nice to get a little sketch in. And then the other thing you have to do is an artist date. So this is my artist date. I am trying to push myself to be more comfortable on camera, and this is a way that I can do that by directly forcing myself to talk to the camera. So the artist date is supposed to be a day where you're like pushing yourself to do something more creatively or artistically that you wouldn't normally do, or spending time with your inner child that makes you really happy, like going to a park or going to a museum or something your inner child would really want to do. So this is mine because I know this is hard for me. So next, they have check-ins at the end of every week, and so I was just going to talk about like what I've been working through this week. So number 1, how many days this week did you do your morning pages? I actually did 7 out of 7. I really enjoy waking up and having something to like look forward to. It's kind of good for me because I have really vivid dreams, and being able to put that down on paper is really nice for me to kind of work through what I'm thinking about. How was the experience for you? I had found that I was kind of starting out strong. Like one of my first morning pages on the first day was like a vision I have of myself as an artist, and like being on stage and what I was going to wear and my costumes and how many people it was at in the venue. So the first page was more of like a vision I had for myself. It was the first morning pages, and then I wrote a drawing of like what I thought the venue would look like and then the outfit I was wearing. My second one was another vision. It was a vision that I was waking up and my phone had a bunch of notifications from people, and like it looked like I was going viral on one of my videos. So that was my second day. And then I just did some little drawings about it. One of my drawings was kind of interesting on this day. I had this idea of like thinking about how other people would feel about my art and what would they be thinking about it. And so I did what will they think in the center of the page, and then I kept doing a bunch of circles around the center. And then on the outside of the writing and the circles, I had boxes around that was like rebuttaling the claim. So what will they think? And I put like, my art has meaning, someone will connect with my art, why do I care, I deserve to take up space. So the what will they think is more of like a blurt that I have a lot of the time when I want to post something or I want to like create. I have this feeling that like people are going to judge me and be confused on what I'm doing, or like think it's stupid or something, which comes internally. But I have this feeling that like no one wants to hear my art and no one cares about it. And so going back and like rebuttaling it and having like some way of convincing myself that that's not true is pretty helpful for me. So that was, what day was that? That was day 2. I have a bunch of exercises and stuff in here as well. So day 3 from my morning pages was, I have a fear of putting myself in awkward or uncomfortable situations. I also am really interested in hearing how I'm perceived by other people. This was an experience that I had as a child where I would often want to like hear what people had thought about me, especially my parents. I was really interested in wanting to hear all the good things that they had to say about me. I don't know why it like was supposed to make me feel better, but I would say that's something that I still sometimes do to this day, is like trying to find people that will like tell me I'm good. But now I've found that it kind of makes me selfish to like want to have people telling me that I'm good at something, or that I already know that I'm good at it, and just hearing it. So that was one of my morning pages, and then I did some artwork on that. Day 4, let's see. This one's an interesting stream of conscious. I'm trying to understand what I meant here. Okay, it's kind of more poetic, I would say, but it's about feeling up and down about what I'm doing, and as soon as it feels good, I'm pulled out of the illusion. I can't just enjoy it for a period of time. It's like I have to continuously come back to it. So I think it's interesting to like have this idea that I'm in a good spot and I'm learning and I'm wanting to like grow, and then it feels like something bad happens and then I like go back. Like it's almost like it's such an up and down. It's like a roller coaster of like, okay, this is good. I'm seeing progress. I'm doing well, and then it's like, oh, well then my next video flops. So actually I'm not doing good and I'm doing worse now. So those are just things that I think come to mind, and I just have a lot of like life decisions I have to make in my life, and so it's like pulling me up and down. One of my artworks that I did this time was one step at a time to get my prize, so close yet so far away. So I think this means that like I'm slowly climbing up to get to the point that I want to be at, but it feels like I have so far to go. Like I have like 100 subscribers on here, and then like not even that on TikTok. So it's like I have such a long way to go, but I know that once I get to the prize, that's all that's really gonna matter. So it's just the journey to get there. Yeah, the rest of my morning pages turn into like more poetic and randomness. They're less structured. So then there's also exercises that come with the book as well that you should try out. So there's affirmations. There was one happy piece of encouragement that you could write down. Let me see what the other parts were. And my work's telling me to come in right now because they changed my schedule and I don't want to. So this is what I'm currently doing. I mean, no one's really gonna watch this anyways. Did you do your artist date this week? Yes, of course, we always hope. And yet artist dates can be remarkably difficult to allow yourself. What did you do? How did it feel? So, yeah, this is my artist date. It feels pretty difficult being vulnerable and talking to the camera. But I know this is like something I've needed to do. I've been needing to become more comfortable sitting in front of a camera and talking to it, especially if I want to put myself out there for music. I need to be more comfortable with being vulnerable on camera. And so yeah, this is extremely difficult for me. Some other things that I've done this week that have also kind of played into the artist date is I got another microphone. Oopsie. And I brought out my MIDI piano, and I've been working on my iPad mini as well. So trying to get more into producing specifically, and I need to pick up guitar. So I think I'm going to do that next week for my artist date, is going to be record another video like this and then work on some guitar. Were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. Other issues this week that you consider significant for your discovery. Something I will say that was significant was there was this task where you were supposed to think about some of the people in your past that have been creative monsters. So people that have held you back from becoming the creative person you are today. So some people that came to mind were a lot of my music teachers in like high school. They were not super great to me for some reason. I'm not really sure why. One I can think of specifically, I had this goal in high school that I wanted to be in Twilighters, which was essentially a a cappella singing group. I think it was like maybe like 10 people, and everyone had their own microphone, and it was all a cappella. So this was my dream when I got into high school. I wanted to be a Twilighter when I was a senior in high school. So I had to go through classes to be a part of the senior class. So I auditioned for the Sterling Jazz Choir, which was the first step, essentially, or the first class I needed to take that was like a little bit more advanced. It was audition based, it was a bit more serious, and I tried out as a freshman. So I ended up actually getting in, which honestly doesn't surprise me. And then the next year I was going to apply for like a group choir. It was an audition, it was just the teacher put you in or not. And for some reason she decided to put me as an alternate for this choir, which made me feel like I wasn't good enough to be in like a very, I'm not gonna say basic, but like a non-audition based choir. It was not super serious. I had already been in many choirs when I was in middle school. I was already doing private lessons. Like, I felt like I was so much more capable than being an alternate for a choir. And this had just pushed me back so much that I didn't want to do music anymore. I was like, okay, well, if I'm not good enough to be in like this choir, like what am I doing? It was almost like it was a realization, and I still don't know why I wasn't put in it. I think the teacher just didn't like me, or I don't know. I have no idea. But since I didn't get into it, I couldn't be a Twilighter. And so everything I had worked for or had wanted for myself just didn't happen. And then I just sort of changed like career paths, I guess, or changed my electives that I wanted to do. So that definitely brought up some feelings of like wondering and confusion. So that was a pretty big one. That was significant. But next week is recovering a sense of identity. I'm really curious to see how I'm going to react to the next week. But yeah, definitely check out this book if you've heard of it. Cool. If not, guess you'll follow along in my journey. See you next time.